Ho Madakyape. Ake Elijah Hopkins Dimye. Welcome again to our land-based learning podcast series. My name is Elijah Hopkins. And today again we have Mr. Dekshi Harold Blacksmith is with us from Sioux Valley to share some Dakota Wicoie, some Dakota words, and specifically Wodakota Wicoie, Dakota value words, and it kind of complements what we're trying to do with land-based learning because it's all connected to our culture and the land. And so with that, enjoy what we're trying to do here. And I'll let Dekshi explain a little bit more about his understanding of Dakota Wicoie.
Wow. Wodakota Wicoie, Dakota values, virtues, they work together. Number one is wa'ohoda, respect. Wa'ohoda is to respect anybody. First of all, we respect ourselves to be who we are. When we decided to get away from that negative life, we all know what negative life is. We removed ourselves from that circle. We started and created our own circle. And because we want our children, we want our grandchildren, we want our friends, our wotakwe to follow us, to live this good way of life without alcohol and drugs. And as you develop that relationship with your kioshpai, your tiwahe, you're building that respect. You don't ask for it, you have to build that respect, how you know it. But you need to understand respect. Wa'ohoda. If you ohoda yourself, then people are going to start to acknowledge that. They're going to ask you, can you help us? Or can you be beside us here? I got to go pull rope at the Sundance. I can't do it alone. So when you get done these 15 virtues, you're literally doing everything in Dakota Wicoie with a good chump there, and we're going to cover that. So wa'ohoda is respect, respecting yourself, your kinship, your otakuye, your friends, your co-workers. You start planting that seed. As soon as you start nurturing it, it's going to grow. Example. Number two, to show compassion, to care. To show compassion and to care for people around you. Wa'ushida. We all have to have that. We all have to have that wa'ushida. To have care and compassion. It's you. That's what it's going to be at the end. If you don't have that care and compassion, I could be talking for 4 or 5 hours. And if you don't have it, you're not going to pick up anything. And even myself as a presenter, if I woke up on the wrong side of the bed and I don't have that wa'ushida in me at that moment, I'm not going to communicate the way I want to communicate. Let that story be out there for everybody to gather and learn from. So wa'ushida is to care. Show your compassion for somebody and let them know. Tap them on the shoulder. Or just simply say, hey, I really liked what you said. That's compassion right there. Building up a character, a person's character. Example. Number 3, dependable. Are you dependable? Do people rely on you right now as you sit and listen to Harold? Are you dependable? Are you somebody that people can come and rely on you? Not because they want to, but because they want to say, hey, I need your advice. I need your direction. Or physically, I just need you to be there. Omakia. Are you dependable? Woachiye. To be dependable, that somebody can come and ask you for help. And you put whatever it is you're doing, put it aside and go and help. When you get back, you can pick up what you're doing and take off from there again. Number 4, to sit, observe, and listen. I learned this from my kunsha a long time ago. Inina. I'm the oldest grandson. Chaske, they called me. Chaske Inina should go like this because we're at a feast, we're at a ceremony. And I was the oldest grandson, and Kushino got took care of me, so I had to go with them. Should go like this. Inina. And that means wo inina, to sit, observe, and listen. Be quiet, inina. Wo inina. Many of us have to take a look at that and understand what it means and use it with your children. before you use it with your children, you need to understand what it means, and they need to understand what that means. Oh, you need to observe and to listen and to learn. Number 5, an act of bravery, okay? Wo'uhitika. Wo'uhitika. June 25th, 1876. Look at those warriors and the women. Little Bighorn battle. Wo'uhitika. An act of bravery. Now, that isn't to say pull out your bow and arrows and your knife and go downtown and scalp the Ottawa Sheet here and there. No, that's not an act of bravery. It's to stand there. Let's say we want what sheep be, and you're going to pull rope. You're going to pull rope based on the years, difficulties that we all go through, and your family's going to be there. Your friends are going to be there to support. And they're going to say, wow, Uitike, he's showing his bravery to make up for the difficult times he endured this past year. Wo Uitike, to show it humbly. Because your children and your grandchildren are watching you, your character. Wo Uitike, your act of bravery. And if it's in your blood, utkan, your blood, your children, your grandchildren that blood's gonna flow through them too. So it's on you to show them. Oh, itika. It's in the blood. I guarantee you it's gonna work. Okay? Except oh, itika, number 5. Number 6, we chose any. We chose any, meaning you gotta be of good health, be of good character. I mentioned it, Nanka. We chose any, whatever we do, we have to have good character. We're going to that inipi. For us here, when we're going to have a sweat in the evening, that moment I get up for coffee, I smudge and say my prayer. And I usually have a coffee diet all day, water. I wouldn't eat till we finish the sweat. So when you're doing that, you're telling people that are coming to that inipi and our spirit relatives that come to that inipi from the other camp. You're telling them that you're of healthy mind. We chose any. You're thinking good and healthy. Don't go to the inipi when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed. You have a bad attitude the night before, whatever. So during that day, you smudge, you say your prayer, have my coffee. That's just me. I'm not saying do it that way. And I go out there and I'm in that enclosed area for inipi, and I'm in there all day. I'm take my coffee, my water out there, getting everything prepared. Pretty soon, 3, 4 o'clock, the guys are showing up. You're of good character, of sound mind, and you're creating we chosen for yourself and your chahadeshka, that circle. And then when you take that into the inipi, into that inipi chahadeshka, you're developing good, healthy mind, prayer to create your identity, to find your identity, and that's we chosen. Okay? Except number 7. Generation to generation, okay? That is so important. My generation, my grown adult daughter's generation, now my grandchildren, their generation. There's 3 generations, including my mom and my kuchi. Wichoichache. Wichoichache was she, hecta hana. It used to be 67 years old. And that's pretty low. Our elders used to live till 80, 90 years old. Today, because of sicknesses and all these diabetes and what have you, our generation has shortened. Our lifespan has shortened. We show each other become shorter. So which is why we always say, we show each other that life is short. Make it the best you can. And that sometimes it isn't no fault to anybody. I live a good, clean, sober life. But I had diabetes. Maybe I inquired about it with my doctor. It's a hereditary illness in my family, my grandpa, my mom. And so I have to take care of myself. I've been weightlifting this morning. Too hot to ride the bike today. So I have to take care of myself. I remember I talked about we chose any taking care of yourself, your mind, body, and spirit. So that's all connected to that. We told each other generation to generation. Once you do that, my daughters see it. My grandchildren are seeing it. It grows. We told each other it's going to grow. If people follow you and watch you, because all of a sudden You're a Chaskan. At one time, you're 7, 8 years old. Now you're 63, 64 years old. And you're still doing the same thing. And people see it and they'll live off of that. Except, we told you. Number 8, well, you must have a good heart. Be happy. We're human. We're human. Worldwide, we're human. Sometimes we can get grumpy, like old Archie Bunker. We can get upset watching news, watching Donald Trump, watching what's happening in Texas. I wish I could be there to help them. This morning, watching the forest fires up north, children are being flown in. Some of the elderly couple and the children, they have the older children sit in the water of the lake as the fire is near. You can't help but feel for them, and so today you turn that around with prayer. Oh, to gosh, I will help make it through this day. Oh, chante, wash that you will have a good heart, because that's going to take you that extra mile. And that also falls in with the 7 sacred ceremonies, and hopefully this summer, Tushka will get to those 7 sacred ceremonies and have an in-depth talk about that, because it connects to the value system that I'm talking about this morning. Example. So Ochante Wash Day will take you. It'll get you through the day. And yeah, we're human. We're going to feel a little bit of triggers here and there. People are going to push your buttons. Always remember, I'm not going to have a bad day today. Start all over again. Reload and start all over. Ochante Wash Day. Have a good heart. Be happy. Number 9, helping others. Whatever you're doing, like I mentioned it earlier, Wawokia, go and help that person. That isn't to say helping everybody. If you're going on a busy interstate and you see a vehicle over, flat tire, and 4 guys dressed in black standing around it, which you pull over, of course you got to use discretion. But if you're going down the interstate and you see a car pull over and you see a guy opening up the truck, you feel like you need to help, and that's on each and every one of us. Well, should I stop and help this young man, or do I go and help this Ugan that needs physical help? That kind of thing. So, is to help others. Number 10, to have that strength, and faith in your prayer, whatever it is that you do, whether it be sun dancing or you're standing up on a hill 3 nights, 4 days, on brecha, and also that sun dance is so critical. Rarely do we hear about the 4-night sweat. Heck, God coach used to talk about. We're going to have that 4-night ceremony. Me included, I have yet to see somebody finish a 4-night ceremony. That commitment just fully not. Oh, I got to go take my grandchild to ball. Oh, I got to be over there. So you're breaking that cycle of that 4-day ceremony. And I don't know if that happens in your area or you've seen it happen, where the elders will say, oh, we're going to have 4-night sweat. And they'll give you a heads up like 3-4 weeks away so you can plan accordingly. We haven't had that in our part of our country here. We used to back when there was more elders. Now there's limited elders in our community, maybe 5, maybe 7 that live this way of life. And that's a small number in Sioux Valley. So anyway, again, that strength and faith to have in your prayer, to have that strength and that faith in what it is that you do. Dakota Wicoie, you walk with it. You could have that Number 11, and all this when we're done, you're going to see that there's sacred W's. In Canada, we have W5. There's a TV show called W5. This is almost, look at what we have. There's only 15. There could be even more as Dakota people. There's more W's, sacred W's. So that faith and prayer. Number 11, Woichake. Woichake is to be honest, be very truthful in what we do, whether it includes those 7 ceremonies, whether it includes your daily life, what you're doing with Chochanduhe, you're working, your relationship with your wife. Woichake. You got to have truth and honesty. My poor wife has stuck up for Harold for 43 years. November 25th will be 44 years we've been together. I often wonder about that. Something good must be there, obviously. So I use that as an example. And like one guy said at a men's wellness, said, Harold, you're always talking about yourself. Yeah, true, because that's all I know. I only know me. I said, I don't know you. I don't know that guy right there. But if it's going to take my story to help open a chapter for somebody, then it's all worth it. So that's why when I do my talks, and whether it be healthy engagements or medicine picking up, I do it with my wife. I always introduce her. Up until 2 years ago when we started working together with language, she was a school teacher, certified school teacher. She was also a child and family service worker. And one day she said, I quit this. I'm tired of this, Harold. I want to work with you. So we've been promoting language, cultural camps and stuff like that. So you got to do that with good character. You got to do it with honesty and truthful. I love it. So once you adapt these sacred W's into your life, one by one, little at a time, you'll see the connection it has with you and a creator. Number 12, wisdom, to have knowledge. Woksape. What's that? It's good to have that knowledge. Up here in Canada, Sharias, they say knowledge keepers, wisdom keepers. Kushi, back in the day in 93, before she passed away, she said, here, hate your Kumshine. She said, we don't do that. On that Kushi, I said, I came home from northern Saskatchewan in Singapore, and I asked Kushi, I said, up to northern Saskatchewan, I heard the word wisdom keeper, knowledge keeper. And she looked at me. She was really fluent and smooth. And trust me, that's all we did was talk. Said, hey, that copy. She said, what are they talking about? Well, it's somebody that keeps knowledge and knowledge keeper, wisdom. Hey, yeah. No, we don't do that. She said, whatever we know as we're growing, we share. We share with our children. We want them to know. We want them to teach them, right? So anyway, in our Dakota way, from that, I don't say it out publicly, but we don't have no knowledge keepers, wisdom keepers. We don't keep it. We share whatever I know today. Like today, I'm sharing with you guys. It's not copywritten or this is Harold's law or anything like that. I just share what little I know. And if it's going to help Billy, Joey, and whoever else that are trying to identify themselves and find themselves, at the end of the day, it's all worth it. Example. So, Woksape and knowledge keeper. Number 13. I love this one. To have perseverance. To have perseverance, mitakuyepi. Wachin tanka wo. You could put a W-O at the end of that. Wachin tanka wo. To be, perseverance. To have, in other words, patience. When you go and try to help, and in my field of addictions in my work as a peace officer, when you do a wellness check, you go and you knock on that door. You don't answer that first time. You come back 10 minutes later, knock on the door, and they'll say, oh, I was using the washroom. You got to go back because whatever it is that we do as family, we want to make sure family is okay. We want to help our relatives. And sometimes we don't do it. The consequences sometimes isn't what we want. So that could have, should have, I should have done that, all those come into play. So to have perseverance, I experienced that in my life, helping my uncles. They helped me, to find sobriety way back in 2003. They never gave up on me. I didn't want to talk to the wife. I didn't want to talk to nobody, and they kept knocking on the door. Yeah, what? We just came to see if you wanted to come to a sweat. I'm sorry, I had a beer last night. No, it's okay. You come. And I went and sat by the fire, looking at my watch, my phone. Then I realized, what the heck am I doing here at the sweat? I don't need this phone. I don't take a phone to the sweat anymore. Or my watch. I don't even wear any. Because I adapted myself to that nightlife. So much in the time and waiting for a phone. And meanwhile, I'm at the ceremony. So I remember my bros, my uncles that took me there. And they had that perseverance. And they had the patience to withstand Harold. And here I am. And 2 of those guys are still alive today. And we talk about that. I want to say thank you. Wopida Pawa Chino, because you guys stood beside me. And today I'm able to say that where I couldn't say that. I was ashamed that I was an alcoholic. Next 14 to pray. We touched that. Each and every one of us. We must find prayer. We must believe in something, as we touched, whether we're Crees, Ojibways, Germans, Yashichak, Isuna, or Shayas, or Lakota, Nakota, Assiniboines, Dakota. We got to have a belief in prayer. Whatever we do, we got to believe in prayer. It really helps. It may not help you that day. And how many people out there that are going to listen to this are going to say, oh, I only pray when I need to. When is that need to? When do I need to pray? Oh, walking to the courthouse. Oh, God should help me with this today. I get out of this here, I will never do it again. Trust me, I've been there and done that. So we always need to, every morning, to start our day like 6:30 this morning. Tonight about 10:30, I'll do my last smudge in prayer. Thank the Creator to give me guidance, give me a dream to complete who we are in one 24-hour day. Example. And this is probably one that really hits home, as we touched. Number 15. To be able to handle 1 to 14, all those virtues, those value systems, we need to understand that we have to forgive each other. We have to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive our companion, our tiwaihe, our tioshpai, otakuye, our relatives. We have to forgive. Remember, just for that day. Tomorrow when you wake up with coming of dawn, we need to do it again. We need to reload and do it all over again. Some people get confused. Oh, I can't forgive that. Not for the next 20, 30 years on. And no, just forgive that day that you're living. Because you're going to go to bed and get new dreams, new ideas, Every day you just have to reload, and do it all over again differently. So we need to forgive. Or I'm a married man and I was looking at that lady walking down the street. You know what I mean? Those are the things that if we don't say anything, we're going to normalize it. So we have to learn to forgive ourselves, our mind, body, and spirit, and our chante. If we don't do that, that chante is going to get hurt. It's going to continue to hurt. And we normalize things that are negative. Example, to forgive is the foremost. Wakikdusha. We call it Wakikdusha. Akikdusha wo. Wakikdusha is to forgive. So those are the 15 virtues. And there could be others, like I wrote at the bottom. There could be others out there. There could be new ones in your area, your region with different dialects. And we're learning. And today, 2025, I've learned language is coming back. Language is coming back in the school system. It's there. It's for us to take it. It's for us to take it and use it. Okay, we got to use it. Like as far as I know, I'm going with my Uchaucha and 2 grandsons to Hampapeta and White Bear this weekend. I love it because my grandsons, who I don't know too well, one of them tries to sing. One of them's a champion dancer. But this weekend, they want to go play moccasin. And my son-in-law, who teaches them, said, what you doing on Saturday? I said, nothing. At first weekend open, well, you're coming to moccasin with us. It's only an hour and 20 minutes from here. So I'm looking forward to it. I am really looking forward. And my brother Tommy is going to be emceeing there. I emceed with him in Sister 10, and we just visit and talk. And it's just amazing the relationship we had. So there we go. I'm going to go play moccasin with my son-in-law. And these two Takoshas, younger Takoshas, 14, 15 years old. I love it. So I wanted to share that much today. There's always a start to anything that we do. Dakota Wicoie. Anything that we do, there's always a starting point. And once we start that trail, we're down that trail, it will never end. When it ends, that's the day you're going to lay down and rest forever. And when you're laying down to rest and be acknowledged, whether it be at the hall or at home, you want all these good people to say, hey, I remember this individual. That's when you can lay down and rest. Right now, we have a whole lifetime of activities and spit teaching to do. And what I'm sharing today is not something my grandfather, my grandmother wrote and here, do this. No, they spoke it and they told me to do it. I wish I had done this before I became a cop, before I came an addictions worker. I'd be doing this 30, 40 years ago. I didn't know. COVID brought this teaching to me. COVID, we were shut down. I had a laptop, Zoom, and I started doing language. And here I am, and I love it. I love it. Paul, you want something to add to what we talked about?
Wicoie wa ishi kaish ishida. Hedako ka. Do they use that word up there a lot? I've seen different Dakota communities use it in different ways, sometimes referring to a uncle or a kushi. Dokri.
Hey, that's a very good question. My uncle Evan, he's on his way to Prairie Island with Uncle Sam to play moccasin. And my uncle Evan's 83 years old. And he says to me when I see him, he says, how is Shida? Come and shake my hand. Yet I'm younger than he is. Like it's like another way of saying uncle. And I asked him that one time. I told my wife first, I think my uncle is going to see now. He called me Ishida. When I asked him that, he said, respect. I know you're my nephew, he said. I know I'm your Ishida. But you speak like Ishida, like a wisdom keeper, knowledge keeper I talked about. To me, that was respect. By when he shakes, oh, Ishida, he'll say to me, Ishida is like an uncle. Ishida is someone powerful in your circle. Dikshi, same thing as uncle. Same thing, Ishida, Dikshi. They put you in a pedestal by using that word, that they honor you that way. Same thing with Tuwi, Ina, same thing. So that was Ishida, Ishishi, Ukana, all mean the same thing. Ukana is another way of saying Uka, grandpa. Or saying an Ukana being somebody that's older. Again, going back to that knowledge keeper. So those are all words we use that connect us to using it when we respect somebody. We never call it our older gentlemen by their name. I'll say, oh, Ishida, oh, Ukana, oh, Dixie, like that. Uncle is Ishishi, oh, Ishishi. We never call by our individuals by their name. We do not do that. So as we're going older, we also pass that on to our children. My adult daughters never called me by my name. And you should never know what your name is. That's what Okan used to tell me. My grandchildren. He said, make sure your grandchildren don't know your legal Washichune, because that's on you to teach them. Wow. Yeah. So Ishida, Ishishi, Dikshi, all mean the same thing virtually, like an uncle, like a dad, all of the above. And it holds high power in our Dakota Yapi. I hope I answered that for you, Elijah.
Hewashte.
Yeah.
Naku Otonka. Otonka gaish gampi ki hena. Dokrichi dokucha. Dokri dukcha.
Anakshi Ichikwakilo. Like in the bottom of that letter, I talked about dialect. Gampi. We use that quite a bit up here. Okan Koshi, Hena Gampi. There's going to be Omni Chomaptik. Gampi, Uch Gang Hena, Uchung Chopi. We're inviting the elderly. Same thing anywhere out there. Gama, Otoka Hena. The first ones, that's what that means. Otoka. The first elders, like the first the first ones that they're born in, their elders of it, Otoka, Otanka, Naku. They're big, like the older people, they're big with knowledge and wisdom. Hetchet copy, Otanka. I would use that more out there, whether it be in Sisituan or for top. And, every time I go to announce powwow, I would use, Otokake, Yusuke, Yokpe, Napi, choose Napi. You older people, I shake your hands with a good heart. Good question. I like that.
Ste pidame. Henakcha ape watching.
Shoot me something again for next week and all that. I'm good. Thursday is all good. We're just gonna get ready for our powwow up here. Big moccasin. I'm not gonna MC or nothing. I don't MC my own powwow. I love to play moccasin. I taunt and love it. So that's next week. But Thursday, I'm home, and it's always good to make connection with our virtues today, our value system, how that story Wodakapi is connected to it. Dokstaki charhom da kiktrotushka. Apito tiao.
Petuaste dokstake.
Osteda.